happening in your university now? And if you have, how different is this from that?
The university has been organizing such training for the staff at different level. And so, but this is, for some of the participants, this is just an addition to what the knowledge they have. But for some of us, quite a number of things are quite new. Things that we're not used to, that we're just learning now. Yeah.
Okay, Professor, so what new things are you also learning?
My background is educational technology, and I can say that most of the things exposed to us in technology enhanced learning, I have an idea, and I was able to make my own contributions even during the course of the learning.
Now you are learning something new which you are bringing on board to your university. Do you have any timelines that you have set for yourself that at the end of, say, 2019, I should have achieved this in my teaching and learning practice?
Yes, especially in the area of curriculum development. Although once again, because of my background again, I have an experience also in developing curriculum. So with what I learned today, I was somehow exposed to other things in which I could be able to inculcate into my own curriculum development.
Now, Madam, how will it be easy for you to integrate what you have learned into your teaching practice?
There are some of the things that we have learned that we have to look at the way it will fit into various aspects of the courses that we'll be teaching. So after this training, I will look into the course outline of my courses and see the ones that some of the things that we have learned can be introduced into them. And by the time we start the next session, at least gradually, I can begin to introduce them into the courses I take in the university.
Will you need any approval from the University Senate or Academic Board before you integrate this?
There are some things that you don't need the approval of the Senate to be able to do that. Like the introduction of role play, using simulation in teaching. You don't need to have any permission from the Senate to do that. But if you have the issue of curriculum development, that cannot be done on an individual basis. It has to have the approval of the university before that there could be any change in the curriculum. But for University of Ibadan, curriculum review is done every 5 years. So there are some things that by the time we're going to have the next curriculum review, such things could be introduced to them.
Okay.
And also to add to what she has said, University of Ibadan here, you are encouraged to use technology for your teaching and learning process. So as a postgraduate teacher, you can have an hybrid teaching, face-to-face teaching and technology. So here in University of Ibadan, I think technology enhancements is already on ground.
Okay. You may have met several people from other institutions. How effectively have you networked with them?
Yes, like asking them for their names. For example, asking like in my area of studying, in my department, I have someone. What other things I can also inculcate into my own courses?
Now you are trainers who may possibly train other people in your faculty. How easy will it be for you to convince your vice chancellors that you need to train on the PEDA modules?
University of Ibadan is a progressive university, and I'm sure that for UI to even be the first to welcome PEDA into the country among other universities who are also involved. I know my university is very much in support of this, and it will not be a difficult thing to persuade the university to also organize such programs for other postgraduate teachers in the school.
So the final word, what assistance will you need from PASGA should you organize a PEDA workshop in your university?
Yeah, advancement courses can also be introduced.
And anything, maybe you may need resource persons, you may need funding.
Resource persons, at least we could need one or two support from PEDA when we want to organize such. It could also be in the place of facilities, have a successful training of trainers. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for availing time to talk to AAUT.
In the Department of Cell Biology and Genetics, University of Lagos, Lagos, Nigeria.
Okay, thank you, Doc. Doc, is this your first pedagogical leadership training organized by PASGA?
Yeah, this is my first pedagogical training by PASGA.
Okay. What is new in this training program from others that you might have already attended?
Well, one thing that it stands out is highly comprehensive. It includes a lot of sessions, a lot of resource persons who really know what they are doing, and they carry a lot of participants along. Okay. So the beats, the way the plan and the lectures and interactions has been done gives a lot of robust way in which one can tackle the problems of delivery when one is left alone.
Okay. So when you go back to University of Lagos and you want to introduce pedal teaching or learning approach, how easy will it be for you to convince your Vice Chancellor to do this?
Well, UNILAG, that's my school, already have some of the e-learning, the technological advanced learning in place. For example, the LMS, the Learning Management Systems, the Moodle is already being used. We have also been opportuned to be trained under the World Bank, teaching us e-learning using PBWorks, although it has not been general. And I think with what I have learned here, some of them simulation techniques, the role plays that was also added, and some other design of curriculum methodology which I also acquired, I will be able to feedback in the system, and I'll also be able to use. I lead a lot of teams, the lecturers teams in some areas of teaching in my department, and good enough, I was the former sub-dean of the postgraduate school, and I'm also on the board of the postgraduate school, which I know I'll be able to influence some things. And to add to that, my dean, the Dean of School of Postgraduate Studies, Professor Akimboye, who was here yesterday, is also very instructive. It's a part of PASGA. Okay. And there is a program in UNILAG, MRPP, a postgraduate program on PASGA, which is also very useful. So we will be able to incorporate these methods and these ideas together in UNILAG.
Earlier on, you said that the program is very robust, and I know there are several resource persons here and several participants. How effectively have you networked with them?
Well, I have done a lot of network. I have been able to relate with Simon. I've been able to relate with Tiberius. I've been able to relate with some of our members from University of Ibadan who have the same area of research with me, and we have started some discussion on collaboration. Okay.
It's good to know that you started some discussion. Assuming you want to organize a training session like this at UNILAG, what assistance will you need from PASGA?
Firstly, we will need the resource persons to be able to assist us. We'll also need some funds in line with that, and collaboration in being able to put whatever is to be learned. I noticed that we have been asked to upload some of the information, which I will definitely do, and I'll also continue to interact with PEDAL and PASGA as time goes on how we can actually incorporate this in more universities in Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Doc, for granting us this interview. Hello, welcome to University of Ibadan, where AAU is covering the Pedagogical Leadership in Africa workshop live from here, and it is being sponsored by PASGA in Kenya. And I'm privileged to have with me a participant who wants to share his learning experiences from this training workshop. Sir, can you introduce yourself and where you are coming from, your institution and your country?
Okay, I'm Dr. Emmanuel Ajebuatin. I'm coming from University of Ghana.
Yes, what do you do at the University of Ghana?
I'm a lecturer in the Department of Educational Studies and Leadership.
Okay, so this even falls in line with what you do at the university. Yeah. So what new thing have you learned here that is not being introduced at the University of Ghana?
Okay, actually, let me put things in context. I'm not a participant, I'm a facilitator. Okay. And I've been with this program since its inception. Right. We developed the curriculum, we did the piloting, and so I'm familiar with the program, but I believe this is the best way to go, since most of university lecturers are not professional teachers. Okay. And the focus of university work has been on scholarship of writing in terms of research. But most lecturers do teaching as a major part of their work. So it is important that we need to give attention to scholarship of teaching. And for me, as a teacher educationist, I think this is the right way to go. And I've learned a lot from this program since the time I've joined them in terms of new ideas of teaching university students.
Now here we have a lot of participants from various institutions as well as a lot of resource persons. How do you see PASGA moving forward with such a huge resource base in order to impact Africa?
I believe that PASGA is for development of Africa, because the sustainable way of developing a country and a continent is to use education as a strategic tool. And if you want to use education as a strategic tool to develop country and its people, then you must focus attention on the teachers. Because you can't eat your cake and have it. If you want to talk about development in education, first focus on teachers. So any investment in teacher development is connected with development of a nation. When you get the teachers right, the rest will be easy. So given the fact that majority of university teachers are not professional teachers, and the fact that PASGA has come in to support university education by training university teachers with pedagogical skills, I think it's the right way to support development in Africa. And what PASGA is doing is awesome, and we all need to support them. Okay,
in teaching teachers how to teach, we normally draw from best practices. One unique thing that I realized from this workshop is that there are no non-African facilitators. What is the secret behind this?
Yes, I think this is what is important about what we are doing, is utilizing the collective resource in Africa to transform Africa through teaching at a higher education level. I guess we have a lot of ideas in literature about how to teach and how to support students' learning. And the best part of what we are doing is using the resources in Africa, the intellectuals in Africa, bringing them together to design something which is in line with international best practice, but which is also related to the context of Africa. Okay. So if you check what Baba is doing, infusing African indigenous epistemology into the teaching of philosophy in Africa. So in a way, we are trying to change Africa, but we are changing Africa through the African way of doing things in a way that will bring development that is context specific.
Okay. Now, this is, to me, is a pilot, unless you have an otherwise view. This is a pilot training. How are you scaling up this training so that it reaches all the corners of Africa?
Good. I guess in the initial stages, they train all of us in Kenya. And from there, they went to Uganda for the first form of the cascading training. And now they are in West Africa and Nigeria, to be specific. And from here, in July, August, they are coming to Ghana so that the regional training will be done, and trainer of trainers. We have a lot of trainers in African continent, and now they can now focus on individual countries. So I guess it's going to go far, and they are going to support universities to own the program.
Okay.
What I like about what they are doing is, after this training, they are going to support individual and participating universities to own the program, either as professional development, postgraduate diploma, and even master's level. Whichever form the university will want to take it, PASGA is there to support them. And I guess this is awesome, and we need to support it.
Okay. So how will you measure the success of this training?
For me, for what I saw with the, I have PhD in teacher education, so anything about teachers, teacher education, teacher development, I'm for it. So the moment we went to Nairobi, Kenya, and I realized they were not talking about research, they were not talking about community service, but for the first time, they are talking about pedagogical leadership for university teachers, teaching graduate program. I think for me, that was the moment I saw this is successful. And this is going to be more successful. It's going to change the teaching of Africa. It's going to make the scholarship of teaching as one of the most important ingredients in university education. Universities focus more attention in terms of donation and funds for research. But we forget that the most important part of the university education is the teaching we do. If you do research, it should feed into the teaching. So what is important is the change we can make with teaching.
Okay.
But if we cannot support university teachers about how to teach the students, then we are making mistake. Okay. And I think this is a wonderful idea, and it will go a long way to change Africa. Yeah.
So what will be your final words to universities that have not yet embraced this new pedagogical way of teaching, or those that are yet to join the PEDA network?
What I know is that the universities that are not part of this program are losing something, huge opportunity. Because after here, the universities can own it, set up centers or fuse it into their already existing structures, and still get support from PEDA to train their teachers. So what we have to do, or what PEDA has to do, is to popularize, or the AAU, for example, can take this up and broadcast the good thing that is happening in the higher education front in Africa, then get so many universities on board. What I know is PEDA is ready to expand the support to any university that is willing to participate in this program. If we do not do this, we will lose the opportunity to emphasize on scholarship of teaching in African universities. And African universities, because they are coming from colonial mentality, will always focus on research, community service for promotion and other things, without giving attention to the tools with which the faculty members will need to deliver teaching.
On that note, thank you very much, Dr. Ejay Boateng, for granting us this interview, and we are wishing you the best in the organization of the next PEDA workshop in Ghana.
The department and the university was on Squirrel Mail, and then later on Zimbra. Then Google Apps was introduced to the university, and we found it a very nice way of ensuring that reliability and efficiency is achieved in as far as communicating via email is concerned.
What we have done in the last almost 6 to 8 months is that of our almost 30,000 students, about 21,500 students are already having the emails.
The chats and SMS thing, because instead of me using my own airtime, I find it very nice trying to using my mail SMS. That is the one that I love most when I'm just free and idle.
I post a lot of activities, like if I go and see a nice photo or something, new environment, I just post that on my G+ page. I also chat with my friends, the Google SMSs. I use Gtalk.
The advantage of Google Drive is you can share your assignments, you can write scripts to automate some tasks on the drive.
Using the email, I can just send one email with the attachments to the group, and then from the group it goes to every student in the class.
Collaboration. Somebody doesn't need to be in MIT or in Harvard, but can still get a joint kind of project with MIT or Harvard. So you're able to get the best collaboration. That is key, because when there is sharing of information, the product is good.
The greatest difference was communication was just made simple, plain, and understandable.
Climbing to the mountain top comes with an extraordinary mental and physical challenge, which involves ascending on hands and feet, and in some cases, employing special equipment to reach elevated points. The journey of tertiary education is no different, since the main goal of a student is to use education as a tool to reach great heights of success in life. Behind every university and lecturer is a set of related beliefs that influences what and how students are taught. Our philosophy of education seeks to give physical, mental, moral, and religious education in a cultural context for the ultimate service to God and mankind.
Valley View University is a Christian university, a Seventh-day Adventist institution that offers a holistic education, by which we mean the balanced development of the whole person, socially, physically, intellectually, and spiritually. We began as a small institution in 1979 as Adventist Missionary College, and by the grace of the Lord, we have moved into a full-fledged university.
With a community of students drawn from over 21 countries, our environment grants students the opportunity for cultural exchange, unique for psychosocial development and self-discovery. VVU does not only have eco-friendly environment and modern facilities for learning, but also qualified faculty and staff who are well motivated to provide meritorious services.
Valley View University Techiman campus has been established for over 7 years now, since the year 2009 in September. And when you are looking for Techiman, you have to think about towns like Sunyani, Nkranza, Tuobodom in the Brong-Ahafo region, and it is located around the middle belt of the country. And the reason why we established this campus in the region is to bring affordable and quality education to people, to students within the region.
Our educational programs are job-oriented, and our graduates are men and women of firm principles, qualified for any position in life, either as employees or employers.
My name is Kobna Holman, an alumnus of Valley View University and the CEO of Holman Consulting. Valley View University stands for Excellence, Integrity and Service. And that is a brand proposition that the university offers every student that passes through it. I left Valley View University with that brand quality, that integrity and hard work pays.
I am currently the Spencers branch manager of Providence Insurance. I am also a proud alumnus of Valley View University. Valley View University provides its students with excellence, integrity, and virtues that imbibes in you throughout your career life. One of my fondest memories whilst on campus was a trip organized to Dodi Island, where we had fun. Valley View University is the place to be if you are not interested in developing just physically, but spiritually as well.
I'm Nana Edu, an alumnus of Valley View University. I'm a software development consultant and co-founder of Digital Innova. My experience in Valley View has helped my career pattern. The lectures were good, the environment created was very, very good, and above all, the moral standard that was kept in school. I think that in my line of work, all these experiences that I had on campus actually helped what I do currently.
Our wide range of programs can be accessed through the School of Business, the School of Theology and Missions, Faculty of Science, Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences, the School of Graduate Studies and others through modes such as regular, distance, sandwich, evening and summer school. Our programs can be accessed from our main campus at Oyibi or Techiman and Kumasi campuses, or Tamale and Takrady centers.
This philosophy of education is intended to prepare each student holistically to make him capable to meet the challenging needs of the confused environment, so to speak. And so if you are looking for an institution where your learning experience will be enriched by the natural environment and make you well prepared for the future, I want you to start thinking about Valley View University.
Welcome to the Valley View University campus in Kumasi, located at Kwadaso, just behind the Siloam Hospital, near Senate Flats. We serve major towns like Ejura, Atibubu, Kwame Danso, all the way down to Sefi Bekwai in the western region. We have places like Goso, down to Konongo, Obuasi, Bekwai, and their environs. Programs run are first degree. We have the distance mode, we have the sandwich mode, we have top up for holders of HND, we have top ups for B.Ed or Bachelor of Education holders who come for secondary education. We also have programs for people with other diplomas and certificates for top-ups. We admit WASI and SSCE holders. We admit people who are 25 years old who don't even have the secondary school certificate. We admit them as mature students in June and in December every year.
Our philosophy of education, with these unique values and commitments, places us on a particular course in the landscape of higher education in Ghana. And we shall do our best to commit ourselves to our unique identity and our mission. The rigor of our training at Valley View University places our graduates on a solid platform where they can face the challenges of life with integrity. We believe that the purpose of education is to develop the learner into a more useful citizen who creatively and productively serves God and society.
My name is Ethel Kofi. I am CEO of Edel Technology Consulting, which was adjudged IT Consulting Firm of the Year by the Ghana Telecom Awards. I'm also founder of Women in Tech Africa, which is the largest women in tech group on the continent with members in over 30 African countries. VVU is my alma mater. I did my first degree. One of the things I loved about VVU was that at the time it had one of the best computer science departments in Ghana. We had a team of lecturers that pushed us and challenged us to be our very best. And I also found my husband at Valley View University.
My name is Kwekuchi, a proud alumnus of Valley View University. I'm the president of the Dawadawa Impact Investment Fund and board chairman of the Ghana Bamboo Bikes Initiative. The values I took with me from VVU are integrity and excellence. And these have helped me reach this far, with winning several international awards, including being selected as the White House honoree, the ACFAN Prize, the World Business and Development Awards, the Dubai International Awards, the SED Initiative Awards, among several others.
One of the unique features of VVU, Ghana's premier private university, is that, in addition to receiving quality holistic education, students have the opportunity to work and earn income to support payment of school fees, as well as acquire working experience whilst in school. That is termed as work-study program. Additionally, our compulsory 6-month practical work in relevant industries for our students before graduation makes them competitive in the labor market. In addition to academic facilities, we have other ventures such as campus clinic, basic schools, a bakery, a media center, vegetarian restaurant, pure water factory, and others. Services from these ventures are open to the general public as well.
If you are thinking about a Christian education that will give you what you need for this world, think about Valley View University.
I encourage all of you who are thinking about a degree at Valley View University to take the plunge. It's an amazing place to be, with a team of lecturers that will support you and will encourage you to become the top of your field.
I recommend Valley View to anyone who wants to have a career, a very sound career in any field, whether in business or computer science. And I wish that you make the good choice of coming to Valley View.
I recommend VVU to you because education at VVU challenges you to think broadly and creatively.
I would therefore recommend Valley View University to any student who wants to pursue undergraduate or postgraduate course to choose Valley View University for this unique brand proposition it offers its students.
This is a big family and you are most welcome.
I must say that the rigor of training at Valley View University puts the graduate on a platform where he or she can face life challenges with integrity. Come grow with us at Valley View University.
In the end, it is not just the destination that matters, but also how you get there.
High and low, follow every byway, every path you know, climb every mountain, ford every stream, follow every rainbow.
I'm here with the Association of African Universities Television, AUTV. I just want to say that without the media, you won't know what's going on in the world. Even with the media, you sometimes don't know what's going on in the world. So you need to tune in to the reliable sources who are really on the front lines, who can give you the information you need and give you facts, not conjecture, give you real news, not fake news. And this is the place to find it, AUTV.
The voice of higher education in Africa.
Hello Africa, welcome to another exciting episode of the CGC show. Remember, the show is proudly brought to you by the Association of African Universities, and we are coming to you live from the headquarters of AAU Accra, Ghana, and I am your host, Ajo Omi. Do follow us on our social media platforms at AAU_TV, on Twitter, Association of African Universities, on Facebook and YouTube, and at AAUTV Official on Instagram. Many thanks to GTP Fabric for my beautiful fabric, and of course Majestic Outfits for my beautiful dress, and AJ Makeover GH for my beautiful makeup. I have my guest here with me, and today we will be discussing cabin crew as a career path. I'll introduce her after the break. Stay tuned. Ismaila Bashira. She is a cabin crew and an entrepreneur, and of course she will definitely tell us how she does the two at a time. Ismaila, welcome on the show.
Hi Adra, how are you?
I'm
Good
fine,
to see
thank
you finally.
Yeah, I know, right? I was actually really grateful that you were able to make time to come on the show, since you are almost always traveling all around the world.
I'm happy to be here as well.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
So tell us, what do you do as a cabin crew?
Well, a cabin crew is somebody that works in an aircraft, basically.
Okay.
But basically in the cabin of the aircraft, we try...
The whole aircraft is just the cabin?
Yeah, that's why it's cabin crew.
Oh, okay.
So you're in the cabin because we have the flight deck crew.
Okay.
So they are the pilots, what you call it, the pilot. But
okay.
yeah, since you're in the cabin, you're the cabin crew. So we have the flight deck crew. So I'm in the cabin crew, meaning I'm working with the customers directly. So we seek for customers' comfort to make sure that customer is safe, everything is meets the standards and procedures of the company, and of course the aviation as well.
Okay.
But basically we are there to actually make sure that we move one customer from point A to B and meeting their expectations and, you know, all that they've been advertised on TV about what the aircraft is about, the airline is about. So we are there to actually drive the message to the customers.
Great, great. I'm interested in the school, some of the courses you took and all of that.
Actually, don't have any aviation background, to be honest.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I work with an international airline, basically, and they don't actually...
how did you end up there, if I may ask?
Well, it's... There was this advertisement, and I actually wanted to accompany a friend, and I ended up being there, and I went to the interview, series of examination actually, series of interviews as well, for like 3 days, and lucky enough I was picked, and I became the first Ghanaian to join the airline actually.
Whoa.
Yeah, so...
Congrats.
Thank you. Yeah, but that's how I came across being a cabin crew. It's not a dream job for me, but trust me, today I love it. It's
definitely love it because I see what you do and all of that. But it still baffles me. You didn't take any course, nothing.
No.
So how were you able to qualify?
My company, like I said, since an international, they will train you actually.
Okay.
They don't need you to be to have the aviation background because they will train you from the scratch to whatever level that they want you to be. And yeah, I mean, it's not a requirement. You just have to be very eloquent. You have to have a basic education at least.
Okay.
And yeah, speak English, have a very good communication skills. They look for that because the job is not really about what you're taught in school. It's all about personality. You understand? So they look out for that, and you go through a very, very intense training. What happens is whatever that you were supposed to learn in aviation school for like I don't know how long it takes, 6 months, 1 year. We do it in three months.
Wow.
So the books are huge. I got there and I was shocked because I thought, you know, you just got
3
the job.
months,
Intensive. You just be on ground, studying exams for 3 months.
Wow.
And you don't want to fail because the priority for them is actually safety and security. I think a lot of people think it's about service. No, the 99% of the job is actually safety and security. So they're very serious. And after the training, when you don't pass, trust me, it's a story I can explain. Some actually have to leave. We were just 22 in the class, but I graduated with 12 because some left because of the intensity of the exams. To be honest, it's tough. Like you're studying for 4 years course or 3 years course in 3 months, like big books. So yeah.
What were you doing before then? Before you decided to go?
Well, I mean, for me, I was here in Ghana. I worked with Taloy. I had my degree. So it was just, let me just go and try and see, you know. Let me just go and try and see. They came, okay, we were looking for girls. I'm like, let me just, you know.
Wow.
So it wasn't like I was, you know, I was waiting for it. Yeah, I was
planned.
actually working. And yeah, I had a good career. But, you know, I thought maybe a change is good. So I just took an opportunity. When I had the opportunity, like, let me just, you know, and I was actually traveling to actually do my master's at that time. So at the same time, I had to decide which one to go with, if I had to go to the cabin crew. I'm like, okay, let me just do this. Let me get the money first.
Wow.
And then the school is always there. But yeah, I'm still working on my master's currently.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. You mentioned that you basically would need a basic education, you need to be eloquent. I'm sure that is why a lot of people think that cabin crew you only need a basic education and that's all.
Well, I wouldn't say it's just basic education. Like I said, they need you, they're looking for personalities. You understand? And we don't go to school to learn personality. You don't have a degree and say, I had a degree in personality. Because you could have a degree and you still don't know what you're doing. So for them, even if your degree, you have masters, they will train you, but we're looking for the personality. How do you deliver a product? How do you sell something to one customer? Like, this is exceptional service. It's the same food or it's the same service I would give you. Somebody would give something like, no, I don't like this. But it's the same food really, but what makes it a difference? So you realize it's not about degree. Whatever, or having a basic. But guess what? If it's just basic, then when you get that job, you don't need to go through any training because, you know, but you have to learn. It's not, but we have people that have masters, they're doing 2 degrees. I have my degree. You know, it doesn't change anything. People do online courses. A lot of us actually, 99% of us actually have degrees. And some are doing their master's, secondary, some are doing a lot, some are even, and the good thing is a lot of people also want to transition from being a cabin crew to flight decks.
Oh, okay.
So
what's the difference actually?
Well, cabin crew, you're a cabin crew, you're in the cabin, like I said, you deal with the customers directly. Okay. But the flight deck, you're a pilot.
Oh, okay.
So in aviation, they calculate certain hours of flying, and it also, you know, it would help you to get a job. So people do the flying whilst you're a cabin crew, and whilst you're flying, they're studying for. We have a lot of crew learning piloting now, and the next minute after 2, 3, 4 years, she's a pilot. And some people use that channel to get there.
Okay.
You understand? So if it's just about just basic education, I'm sure they would actually go to. They'll find somebody around and just, you know. So yeah, we do have people that have. I'm here, I have degrees, so yeah.
Share your experiences with me. How has it been for you?
It's been amazing. It's a whole different world, to be honest. And maybe I'll say I was lucky enough to work with an international airline, currently the best airline in the world. And meeting different people from different countries. You work with different people with different cultural background. It's incredible. And you know, I always tell my friends that you have somebody who is from, let's say, London or Australia, a customer from Australia, and you have to say another customer from a place like Kathmandu. You know, you should be able to treat these people equally. They have different perspective, culture differently. But you as a cabin crew, you need to be neutral. You need to be able to make that person comfortable. You need to make this person comfortable. But all these people are from different backgrounds. You understand? You have people that don't speak English, people that speak some language you don't understand. But then they leave the aircraft and kiss your forehead. What did you do? What did you say? So it's beautiful. Personally, it has taught me how human relationship works. It has taught me so many things. You need to be patient, extremely. You need to be tolerant. You need to be, you know, always think outside the box. You need to have those qualities. If not, you can't. And be ready to learn as well. Because every 3 months, I do assessment and write exam. Tell me which job does assessment and exam for 3 months. Every 3 months, I have to write an exam. So I have to do assessment. You grade strictly.
For you do it for the organization or for yourself?
No. Now you know it's not about just going and saying, so you need to,
because we always see the fun side of cabin crew, like you're in a flight, you're traveling all over the world, and
the uniform at the airport,
uniform and all that. But I didn't know that you write.
We write exams every 3 months.
Wow.
Assessment. I say exams, assessment. You write it every 3 months. You get questioned every single flight. We do something like a mentor, like we call it in school, mentor, you know, 2, 1, 2. We do that every single flight. So for instance, if I have 2 flights a day, like I come from London London to where I work, like 6 a.m. and then I have another flight at 6 p.m. That 6 a.m. I do mentor. They ask you, you know, what do you do when a customer collapses? We have to know all this. Well, I'm a nurse. I'm a safety officer.
Oh, wow.
I'm a customer service personnel. I'm everything. Because, you know, we are confined in that little space. So you need to be everything. So every flight different, it's just like a car. Maybe some cars has 1 door, some cars has 2 doors. So every car has a neat operation. So every morning or each flight, regardless, even if you're doing 10 flights, if it's possible to do 10 flights a day, you have a mental exams every single flight. So you always have to study. I always have to know the aircraft type. I have to know certain basic. When the emergency, what you do, what you say, you have to, because you will be asked like that, like a teacher standing in front of you to ask you about, you know, what is this? Tell me when somebody does it, what do you do? No, if you can't, you ask again, they ask you again, and if you can't, there's a problem. You have to go back to school, class again and study. So it's not only about re-looking or we're looking at the airport and going up and down. You need to be ready for study as well, and be vigilant as well.
You mentioned safety. I know there are flight nurses too. Do you guys work together?
We don't have flight nurse. That's what I'm telling you. Wow. Like when I get trained, I train as a nurse.
Okay.
I get first aid training, so it's intense. This is serious. We're not talking about, okay, you know, you're just going there and make sure that this person be more comfortable. That's why I mentioned earlier. It's about safety, security. I do that. I mean, we do that. I'm a nurse. If somebody should collapse right now, I need to be able to check your pulse, your breathing rate.
Wow.
I need to be able to do CPR for you. Wow. I need to know what somebody stroke, what you should do. It's like that. But what we do is we do have a system where we can connect to. We have doctors, standby doctors somewhere in the world that we don't know. They are standby. So, but before you contact a doctor, you need to be able to provide the first aid, because it will take all that needs to be done. And when it's important, you divert. We have diversion. So, for instance, if I'm flying from, I had a flight from Houston to where I work, and we had an emergency case. So the doctor will tell you, look, this is serious. We have to divert. We diverted it to Canada. So we have certain situations that when it's very serious, we have to divert, which is a whole new story. But here, we don't have specific roles. So let's say we need a nurse on board. Everyone is a nurse, because you have to study to know. Everyone is a safety officer there. You have to know. And there's fire, I know what to do. I'm everything. I'm the fire.
Honestly, I'm so shocked. I don't know the kind of things, the kind of thoughts that we had especially about cabin crew, and you have come to tell us what really it entails. I am actually learning. And I know you at home too, you are enjoying the show and you are learning a few things. Stay with us, we'll be back after the break. If you just tuned in, you are watching the CGC show on AAU TV, and we have been discussing cabin crew as a career path. If you've always thought that is an easy job to do, well, you would have to find it interesting, or you would have to need a passion for it before you can do it, because obviously it is not so easy like other courses or other professions. And Ismaila has helped us.
Honestly, I think it's the same thing, but I think initially when aircraft or airlines started operating, girls were not trained to do intense training like we do.
Oh, okay.
Like I mentioned before, you were a first aider, you were a security personnel, a safety personnel, you were all that. It was just basically service-wise. It was service-oriented.
Oh, okay.
But now there's a lot of things happening. But cabin crew, we have. You have to be everything. You have to be the nurse. You have to be everything. Before even they actually picked only nurses. If I'm right, what I know a little bit about history about flying and flight attendant was nurses for your care, for your comfort. But they realized that no, it's not about being a nurse or just going to do the service or comfort, but safety-wise, emergency-wise, all these things comes in place. So hence maybe the name change from cabin crew, because anything that entails in the cabin is your responsibility.
Oh, okay.
You understand? If a customer hears a noise that is not usual, they would call the cabin crew, maybe a hostess, and then she goes like, what is that? I don't know about. No, you have to know about it. So it's not only just service related. But then I think because it was just service related, we have the waiter. You're a waiter. You're just giving out food. But no, it's not just that. So I think it's basically the same thing, but there's more to it now. Hence why we have maybe the cabin crew or flight attendants.
So basically, it's like they identified a need to get people or somebody who would have a fair idea of how to handle people in the cabin.
Yeah. When you say waiter, then it limits the idea of you being a waiter. You're just doing the service, but you're not only doing the service. You're doing you're taking other responsibilities as well as being a doctor or whatever, the nurse as well. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Basically, briefly tell me some of the challenges you have faced. Like you said, you sometimes meet people from Australia, all and maybe Moscow, whatever, all in the plane, and you need to talk to all of them. What has been some of the challenges for you?
Time is challenge. We don't have that we don't have specific times. So we fly every time, 2 a.m., 1 a.m., every time. And you go to countries like, let's say, Canada, and I left here in the morning, I get there, it's 2 days. I mean, the time is our problem. It's a big challenge. If you're somebody that you're a morning person, you're an evening person, you can't do, there's no morning person, evening person, you have to be every person.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Yeah, so time is a challenge, and it's tough when it comes to time. I mean, and when this is a challenge, it means that it takes a lot from you. Your body might not get the proper rest because of different time zones as well. So that's one big challenge. If you're strictly, I only sleep in the evening, then this is not for you. I'm sorry, because you have to take somebody from 1 to 2. So time is one of the challenge, and other challenges would be.
I think
also,
language should be a challenge. Or you are taught other languages too.
Well, it's a challenge, but it's not really something we can actually work with.
Oh, okay.
Because, like I said, our airline is not just I'm Ghanaian. So if I fly with a Ghanaian, I can speak to you. We have multinationals, so you have somebody. Usually, you can get one or two person who can speak French, somebody who can speak Hindi. So it's not really. And even if it's so, we sometimes try our best. If it's food they want to eat, you just have to open for them to see it's chicken. I'm sure they know what, so. And if it's even safety video, we have the video. Even if they can't understand, they see what is then being done, so they can do the same. So yeah, it's a challenge, but like I said, you always have to think outside the box. You have to have that, you have to think ahead. If you face this kind of customers, what to do. So yeah, language, but it's not really a problem for us. But the timing it's a major thing. Secondly, you miss everything this life has, honestly, because I don't know the last time I spent any special moment with my family. I'm leaving in 2 days, and it's holiday season. And I'm working in, God knows, like after 3 days. And even on Christmas, I'm flying another customers from point A to B. I believe I also deserve a holiday. But you don't get to choose. You miss my sister's wedding. You miss special occasions. It's sometimes sad. You're out of this world. You don't know what is happening on the ground. So things like this also. Some people can't. There are people that can't live all by themselves. No family, you don't see anyone. It's just you on the phone every time with somebody in a lonely world. You go to some country. Most of the country, of course, you don't know everyone. You don't know someone in every country. You go to a lot of countries, like 158 countries, and you go to places that they also don't speak. You don't have your food. They don't. So yeah, I mean, you would actually miss a lot, but you should be ready for that. There's nothing like I have to go home because it's the, you get your chances sometimes when you do that. They're flexible. I have this time, I need to do this. The connection, but if you're giving everybody that opportunity, who is working? You understand? So right now I have to go for December 25th. I have a flight. Somebody has to go on a holiday. So you see how it works. I had to come early. So that's these are some of the challenges. If you are like a mommy's girl, I'm sorry, there's no mommy to pamper. You need to be stronger and push through.
I see.
So these are the few challenges I will mention. But aside that, and your eating habit too could change because you eat everything and you come at 3 a.m. and you're leaving at 11 a.m. in the morning. Like you can actually have a back-to-back flight. You can fly non-stop for 1 week without we do have back and back. So I can have a flight. I can land at 3 a.m. 11. I'm moving again. So and now you're contemplating, should I eat first or should I sleep first? You're hungry. You need the rest. And then the time zones are different. It's become so that the timing is really, it plays a major role because you end up not eating right, and you don't sleep well because where you're from it was evening. You come here is God knows midday. Like how do I sleep now? So these are the certain those are just few challenges actually, but and maybe cultural differences. Of course, we have different. But like I said, as a Caribbean, you learn all these things. So you don't find offense in anybody trying to shoot. There are certain signs you don't use in other language because it means something else. There's certain things. But you get to learn as well.
Interesting. But aside, still on the challenges, what has been your challenging moment? Have you ever encountered a customer or somebody on the flight and then you guys had things?
Again, it's a very confined space. Everything that happens on ground happens there. Everything. When I say everything, talk of death on board. talk of birth on board. We have people delivery. A cabin crew would deliver a baby for you.
Wow.
We are taught how to to do that. Whatever, stroke, anything, anything, fight. Somebody could fight over food. This is.
But I want you. I want you to share your
my
experience
challenge.
with me.
I mean, my experience so far would be, we had somebody who was shot in the States, so we had to carry the person from, and then he had a surgery, but the surgery was not. I mean, it was done, but they had to let him rest rest a bit, which they didn't. So we have to fly him to where we were going, and it was a long distance. So he started bleeding. You know, it's sad to see somebody in that pain. So yeah, we did all that we could, and they said no. If we don't divert, like I mentioned before, he could die. You know, so when you're seeing somebody struggling in pain, and you know, yeah, so we had to divert, and of course,
see a lot of things.
We did, instead of doing 18 hours, I flew for almost 29 hours in air.
Wow.
Like we did a whole day again. Yeah. So
And there were people in the flight. You had to go back.
Yeah, we had to go. We went to another country.
Okay.
We stayed in the aircraft in the airport for almost 7 hours on ground.
So
And
can
we were
I
there.
say that you
Yeah.
guys didn't think about the people in the plane?
No. We do our service. We're just trying to give them water, food. You know, we just give.
Okay.
Because we're all struggling. You can see what it's like. And again, guess what? I'm struggling, but I have to
Yeah.
hold on to my pain.
Yeah.
And deal with yours. We don't have anything like, I'm going to personal stuff, so you know what, I'm also going to, so you hold on to. No, when you wear that uniform, your problems are here. You could be in tears. We're all human. We also go through challenges.
Yeah,
but guess what? Our duty that when you wear the uniform is to make that person smiles. So customers were frustrated, they would literally eat you up. But it's your duty to make sure that frustration has been turned into a smile. And it's like, again, back to personality. What's your personality? How do you change that?
But I'm sure there are some benefits that come along with it.
Oh, of course.
So tell me some of them. Maybe I'll change my mind and join you guys. What
I'll
are
just
some of
keep
the
that very
benefits?
brief and say, let's say, getting paid to see the world. How about that? Getting paid to see the world.
Briefly.
No, briefly. You can just get paid and, okay, this is fun looking. Yeah. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It is beautiful. But, of course, I mean, the sacrifices are worth whatever we are being paid. But, I mean, I'm sure there are other jobs that take more than us, but yeah, it's good. If you have the opportunity, please. Yeah.
Maybe I'll think about it.
Yeah, you should come. We would want to have. We want more Ghanaians. We want more Ghanaians there.
I'll take the course or the exam and then.
Yeah. You you don't need to do anything. Any airline you want, you just go and apply online, and that's it. You go to their opening. That's it. Nothing serious, to be honest.
Wow.
You just have to be ready for questioning, like you're questioning me now.
And I know you to be an entrepreneur too. So tell me.
I do own certain small businesses I'm trying to build here in Ghana, which is the Modern Muslim Girl.
Yeah.
And short is called the MMG. And it's a fashion house. So basically, just trying to, help the Muslim girl out there to be fashionable, but yet to be modest as well. It's a modest store, since we don't have a lot of that here. But I try to operate it whilst I'm away, which is very hectic. But social media makes things easy.
Yeah.
And so it's catching up gradually. You can follow us on Instagram, Modern Muslim Girl, and you see more of our works.
Nice. So how long has it been around?
It's been like a year plus. It's still a baby company, but it's catching up very,
And I know you are coming up with a clothing line too.
Yeah, it's the same concept, because I realized that for us Muslims, we are limited to certain outfits, and why not try and bring something that is fashionable and yet modest and yet stylish. And so that's what I'm trying to build. And Ghanaians, and I have Christian customers. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I have. You should get one as well. Maybe your next show we have to come and style you on modest.
Probably. I'll be so glad. I'll be so glad. Anyways, you're really trying.
Yeah.
Because talking about the cabin crew thing, the whole work that it entails, and you adding the entrepreneurship to it, I think you are really doing well.
Because cabin crew, you can't actually do that forever as a woman.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, it has its challenges in health aspect also.
Oh, okay.
But if you want, yeah, why not? But
we'll leave that for another day.
Yeah, sure.
What would you tell somebody who would want to be a cabin crew and take it as a career path?
It's incredible. Please, we should all come. We should all be cabin crew. No, I mean, it's incredible because you learn more than what we are. Like if I'm working with a Ghanaian, it's Ghanaian. But how do you know? How do you work with somebody who's from India?
Yeah.
How you learn a lot. And for me, I said there's no any customer service related or human relation job that I can't do. And when I do come back home and I see our customer service or our human, I'm just like, no, you can't work. You can't do that. It's so different. But maybe years ago it's very high now. And then tolerance, nothing really surprises me because we've seen a lot, heard a lot, and you also be a humble person because we fly with different classes of people. So you see how people live, you appreciate life, be grateful. It's beautiful. And of course, you get the benefits. So why not? We should all come.
If you have been following the conversation, I remember patience, tolerance, and of course personality. These are the basic things you need if you want to be a cabin crew. Thank you so much, Ira, for coming on the show to tell us more about cabin crew and all that it entails. And I know you at home too, you have been enjoying the show. Don't forget, the show is proudly brought to you by the Association of African Universities, and you can follow us on our social media platforms at AAU_TV on Twitter, Association of African Universities on Facebook and YouTube, and at AAU TV Official on Instagram. Many thanks to AJ Makeover GH for my beautiful makeup, and of course GTP Fabric for my beautiful clothes, and Majestic Outfits for my beautiful dress. Questions or anything that you'd want to know, you can just leave them in the comments box on our social media platforms, and you can also send us a WhatsApp message on +233 50123 8468, and we will have them answered to you. Enjoy the rest of our programs. My name is Ajaomi.
Hey, so this is Dishant from Unica University Common Application. I recommend you to watch AAU Television.
AAU TV is the place to be for every person in higher education in Africa. Better be there or be nowhere.
Continuez de regarder la télé et surtout sur le AAU. Keep watching it and it will change the way you interact with higher education on the continent. AAU, great job.
I want to tell you that AA, and it is a must for anybody who is interested in higher education in Africa.
When I was in Accra last year, I did an interview on this TV. It's a very important mouthpiece.
It's a data, it's a bank of all we need for the development of higher education in Africa.
People should make an effort to view it because it discusses very current issues of development across the continent.
I believe that the station will continue to promote the overall development of Africa, particularly in the tertiary education sector.
AAU TV provides a platform and shares a lot of information to a broader audience. So we wish you all the best, and please continue serving
AAU TV,
the voice of higher education in Africa.
The Association of African Universities, AAU, is an international non-governmental organization set up by universities in Africa to promote cooperation among themselves and the international academic community.
Mon nom est professeur Étienne Ehouan-Ehilé. Je suis le secrétaire général de l'Association des universités africaines qui est basée à Accra, au Ghana. Je vais vous parler de la création de l'Association des universités africaines. Il faut remonter dans les années 60 pour pouvoir comprendre le processus. Déjà en 1960, nos dirigeants estimaient que l'éducation est l'outil majeur pour pouvoir lutter contre la pauvreté et assurer le développement.
I am Nodumo Dlamini. I'm the Director of ICT Services and Knowledge Management at the Association of African Universities. The Association of African Universities is a network of 400 universities in Africa. The biggest value that the universities benefit from being members of the association is this big platform. I can work with the university in Southern Africa, and also those in East Africa can work with those in West Africa.
Founded November 1967 at a conference in Rabat, Morocco, by heads of African higher education institutions, the association is currently headquartered in Accra, Ghana.
My name is Maxwell Amo-Hoyt. I'm the Director of Finance of the Association of African Universities. The association sustains itself from contributions from member universities and also from other development partners. Some of our development partners include the World Bank, other governmental agencies like the Swedish International Development Agency, UK Department for International Development, and other partners. We also receive partially the government of Ghana. Other partners include the African Union, which is more or less the parent organization of the Association of African Universities. The Association of African Universities hosts the Secretariat for the African Union's Continental Education Strategy. And by so doing, we provide coordinating roles for the African Union in helping members achieve their targets.
Déjà en 1960, nos dirigeants estimaient que l'éducation est l'outil majeur pour pouvoir lutter contre la pauvreté et assurer le développement. Et rappelons-nous que les années 60, la décade 60, a été une décade où la plupart des pays africains ont obtenu leur indépendance ou ont, disons, pris les dispositions pour être indépendants. C'était donc aussi l'année de développement, dans la mesure où tous ces pays indépendants devaient se retrouver de temps en temps pour parler de comment mettre ensemble leurs problèmes et trouver une solution commune à leurs problèmes. Et dans ce contexte-là, l'éducation était une priorité pour eux, surtout l'éducation universitaire. Et sur ce plan-là, les universités aussi se sont organisées grâce à l'UNESCO qui a parrainé plusieurs réunions depuis Madagascar jusqu'au Maroc.
My name is Jonathan Umba. I'm the Director of Research and Academic Planning. The programs and projects that we run at AAU are consistent with our strategic plan, and they are implemented for our higher education stakeholders, namely the higher education institutions in Africa. These programs are implemented in such a way that our stakeholders will get the benefit of membership of our association. And our programs also are aligned with a number of global and international agendas on higher education, including the Continental Education Strategy for Africa and Agenda 2063. So these programs are aligned with a number of international agendas promoting higher education in Africa.
The AAU is the apex organization and principal forum for consultation, exchange of information, and cooperation among universities in Africa.
I am Professor Nkusa Mahao, Vice Chancellor of the National University of Lesotho in the Kingdom of Lesotho in Southern Africa. There are roughly 77 universities that are affiliated with the AAU in the region. But as you might be aware, there are a lot more universities that are as yet to take the membership of the Association of African Universities. Well, universities that are not members of the AAU are missing quite a lot. First of all, let's appreciate this one point, that the AAU is a main driver from the angle of training and capacitating the human resources of the continent, the agenda of the African Union 2063. So if an institution is not on board, it is missing the opportunity to leverage on the opportunities that are provided by the association in the area of training, human resource capital, training their own staff and students, the opportunities that are provided by the universalization of quality management on higher education on the continent, and many other opportunities that are provided.
Et en 1963, il y a eu une réunion à Khartoum, au Soudan, où les chefs des institutions d'enseignement supérieur ont décidé de créer l'Association des universités africaines. Finalement, la création va se faire à une conférence qui s'est tenue à Rabat au Maroc, et la création de l'Association des universités africaines a eu lieu le 12 novembre 1967.
I'm Prof. Hassan Kafi, AAU Governing Board member, representing for East African region. Also, I am the president of Plasma University, Mogadishu, Somalia. We really like to give a call for universities in Africa, especially in East Africa, those which are not members still in the Association of African Universities. We are calling them because we feel the organization is ours. It represents the voice of higher education in Africa being seen all over the world.
Hi, my name is Toby, and I'm studying Management Information Systems here at Ashesi University, but I'm also one of the tour guides for this campus tour video. Our campus is set in a serene green environment with carefully planned buildings and spaces. This is to create the perfect atmosphere for a wholesome teaching and learning experience. Our tour begins in the hallways of Ashesi, where we have some of our lecture halls and classrooms. We also have design labs, research labs, science labs, and a workshop, so students have a variety of places to learn from beyond the traditional learning space. We can use several materials in all of these spaces to make the learning experience wonderful.
Hi, I'm Brianna, a senior at Ashesi University studying business admin and your second tour guide. School gets really busy, and so to catch a break between classes, grab a snack, or catch up with friends, there are a lot of hangout spaces available to us, like this one right here. Even with more spaces is the Hive, a multi-purpose area designed to hold meeting rooms, student leadership offices, 2 of our cafeterias, and a campus radio station.
Ashesi provides housing options as part of efforts to enhance the educational experience of its students. Our lounges, recreational courts, and peaceful environment increase opportunities for teamwork, enabling closer friendships and creating room for community.
To unwind and keep fit, the Ashesi community has a sports center and the basketball courts to its disposal. Now, sports enthusiasts get to join girls or boys teams to compete in the seasonal leagues. Here at Ashesi University, we prioritize the health and safety of all our students. So the health center was built to provide first aid services